Well, hi there, folks. Welcome to the program. This, of course, is Stinchfield, the podcast. Great to have you along today. By now, you've probably seen the video of Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, former NCAA women's basketball phenom, who is, quite frankly, an amazing basketball player. She is white. She is in a league with mostly black, butch, lesbian basketball players. She's getting hammered. If you haven't seen this video, here it is. Taken out.
Clear all which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Is it unnecessary? Of course it's unnecessary. It's racist. They were just destroying her in every game she plays in. She's getting hard fouls. She's getting knocked around. She's getting beat up. Many of on her team are not backing her up. What is at play here? We're going to talk about this. I believe because she is white, because she is a star, because she is making millions, all of that is leading to racist jealousy on behalf of the WNBA players that are literally taking it out on her, their frustrations, their black anger against whites. This is what it is, folks. It really is. And they are taking that out on this white player. Now, you may think I sound like a liberal saying, oh, the only reason Caitlin Clark is getting the attention she is because she's white. Bottom line is I worked in media for almost 30 years. That's exactly why she's getting this kind of publicity. Why do you think John Benet Ramsey got the publicity that she does? When all these little kidnapped, pretty little white rich girls get kidnapped, they get all the publicity. That's the bottom line. Eyeballs go here because it is an anomaly. You don't often see great white basketball players who can drain it from as deep as she does. It's an anomaly. So it's going to get attention, okay? That's a fact. I made the same comparison to Larry Bird, by the way. Larry Bird is one of the greatest players that ever roamed the hard courts of the NBA. But he is a legend because he is white. There were plenty of black basketball players that were maybe close to being as good as Larry Bird that don't get nearly the publicity that Larry Bird got because he was white in a league that was becoming all black. And so this is just reality. They hate her for that. They hate her that she's making $28 million with Nike. They hate that she signs a deal with Wilson Basketballs. They hate that she's got private jet charters now. They hate all of it, these WNBA players. So we'll get into all of this here. There's lots of reaction to go through and the reality of all of it right here on Stinchfield, the podcast. Let's get it started.
Uncensored and unapologetic. This is Stinchfield. Here's your host, Grant Stinchfield.
All right, folks. So what do you think? Is it because she's white? Is that why she's getting the deals that she's getting? I will say this. I don't know a lot of players, even men, that can shoot it from as far away as she can. That brings down rain with her shots, draining three-pointers from a distance that even men have a hard time draining it from. She is an amazing basketball player, and I'll tell you this, I'm not a huge fan of Caitlin Clark. I hate women's basketball. I don't want to talk about women's basketball, but we wouldn't be talking about the WNBA or this woman, Kennedy Carter, Chenedy, she spells it. We wouldn't be talking about her if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark.
I mean, that's clear all which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
I mean, it's just hateful. The bottom line, it is absolutely hateful. So you've had some people speaking out about this now, including Matt Barnes, who was described as an enforcer during his years during the NBA, which means if someone fouled your teammate hard, Matt Barnes was the enforcer. He'd come in and foul somebody else back real hard. This is what he had to say about all of this.
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down. It is what it is. She's not the first. She won't be the last. My issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is the team. She's the star. You always protect your star. I was someone who protected the stars. You fuck with Kobe, CP, Blake, list goes on. It's going to be a problem because you guys are supposed to be a family. And you wonder why you sit at the bottom of the league right now is because y'all don't protect each other, man. Coach don't do shit about it. Players don't do shit about it. Y'all should be ashamed of it. But the rest of the league is going to continue to test her. And that's what they're supposed to do. It's your guys' fucking job to have her back and have each other's back.
They don't. Even girls on her team, these women on her team, they're not protecting Caitlin Clark. They are smirking. There is such jealousy here. But, folks, here's the reality of this. You stupid WNBA players. She put you on the map. There was a game in L.A. They filled the Staples Center. For a WNBA game, that's unheard of. It was only because of Caitlin Clark. You ought to embrace that. You ought to thank her. You ought to be grateful for her for whatever the reason she's getting the attention that she is. Because she's great, because she's white, a combination of both. Who cares? Embrace it. But they don't. They're out to destroy their own league because I give it a couple more months and nobody's going to be talking about this stuff anymore. Nobody's going to care anymore. Austin Reeves weighed in on this. What is Austin Reeves now? He used to play for the Timberwolves. I don't know. Is he like semi-retired?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday. I wanted to make this video about Caitlin Clark real quick because I've seen a lot happen with her. A lot of jealousy, hateful comments come her way. Listen, I'm an NBA guy. Obviously, I covered the NBA as well. So I was going to just stay in my lane and just kind of fall back and let other people speak out on her behalf. For me, enough's enough with this. First and foremost, let's just get right into it. Let's be honest. Women's basketball as a whole, for the longest time, did not garner a lot of attention and the proper respect. For the longest time, the WNBA was synonymous for a lot of things. Not making a lot of money, actually losing money, to be completely honest. Their athletes not being compensated properly, their athletes not being treated properly, and as a whole, their sport and brand of basketball, in terms of women playing basketball, did not garner really proper attention.
No, it did garner proper attention, and the salaries were proper. See, because it's not garnering attention, that's why you can't pay these women a lot of money. Right now, they only make $60,000, $70,000 a year. Now, I'd offer up this. You playing basketball for a living, making $70,000 a year? There's a lot of Americans who don't make that for playing half the year, and you're making $70,000 playing hoops. You ought to consider yourself lucky. But the reason they make $70,000 a year, they don't fill stadiums. Caitlin Clark's the only one that has brought people in to fill stadiums. They don't fill stadiums. Their jerseys do not sell. I remember going to a Dick's Sporting Goods and seeing no Luka Doncic jerseys. And all of the Dallas WNBA team's jerseys, all there, tons of them. You had your pick of the litter because nobody's buying them. That's why they're not making a lot of money. Now, Caitlin Clark comes in. She's making money outside of the league with the endorsement deals. Fine, she's making millions. That's why they're jealous. But I think we're going to listen to see what path he goes down here. But the WNBA garnered exactly the attention they deserve to get garnered. It's not fun basketball to watch. It is mistake-ridden basketball. It is not fast-paced basketball. Yes, there's a lot of passing, moving the ball. You can say there's a lot of fundamentals often, but it's not the kind of dominating basketball the NBA is, which is why nobody watches.
Nobody really cared or paid attention to it, which is a damn shame because you girls have been great. You have been world-class athletes. I grew up appreciating. I'm a hooper, though.
You know, this guy's a loser. He literally is just pandering to the left. You guys are great. When was the last time this guy watched a WNBA game? I promise you never.
But I grew up watching the Beasts play in the WNBA. I grew up watching Diana Taurasi do her thing. And Sue Bird wow us for her savvy. And Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie go after it. And Maya Moore and Cheryl Swoops in the list.
It's great that he knows all their names. I'm going to challenge him. There is no way this guy was sitting down in front of the TV watching a WNBA game. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Nobody wants to watch this nonsense. Nobody.
This goes on. There's been greatness in the WNBA. You guys have been great women athletes. But for whatever reason, mainly due to ignorance, your sport has not garnered the proper attention and respect that it's long.
Due to ignorance? Excuse me. There's something exciting about a flying high tomahawk dunk. Women can't do it. There's something exciting about draining a three-pointer from near half court. Oh, wait a second. Caitlin Clark can finally do it. She's the only one in the WNBA that can. This is why she's garnering attention, because she's doing something typically you don't see women do.
Long overdue. And now this woman comes along and brings the world in and is now giving y'all that proper attention and respect. And you guys are getting these brand deals and getting this money. And instead of being appreciative and acknowledging that, you guys are like coming at her with these like hate ass comments talking about, oh, well, you know, it's not just because of her, blah, 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 blah. Last night our game was sold out and she didn't play. Last night we flew charter and she wasn't on that flight. Let's stop it. It's not a coincidence you guys are just now chartering flights her rookie year. It's not a coincidence that now that she's in the WNBA, everyone's paying attention to the WNBA. I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot more people are. Okay? It's not.
Nobody's paying attention to the WNBA in any great numbers. Let's be clear. You sell out the Staples Center when the Indiana Fever, I don't even know the name of her team. Is that what it is? 19,000 people in a city of what? 10 million? LA? Go to the game. Big deal. The LA Lakers sell out every night. The Clippers sell out every night. So now we're making a big deal because they sold out because one girl comes in for the WNBA. I can't listen to him anymore. Folks, I'm going to play you some other clips, including Charles Barkley. And then AI weighed in on this. I love when people get AI involved. They had a press conference from Caitlin Clark on how she should do it. And this press conference would break the internet if she actually said what is said in this AI version of her, but she's not gonna say it. Hey folks, let me remind you about my friends over at Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com is where I want you to go /Grant. PatriotMobile.com /Grant. I have a Patriot Mobile phone. I'm so happy with my Patriot Mobile phone. This is what it is about. When it comes to taking our country back, supporting companies that support the values we believe in. Patriot Mobile calls themselves America's only Christian conservative wireless provider for a reason, because they are, and they're proud of it. I want you to make the switch because we need to support companies like this. And hey, they got this other Patriot One plan, one phone, two lines on two different networks. So if you have your AT&T network go down, you could have a Verizon number. You have a Verizon go down, you could have an AT&T number. You get to choose one phone, two lines. Great deal. No other cell phone company can offer this up. If you're in business, you're a businessman, you need to have these backups in place. This is a great opportunity for that. PatriotMobile.com /Grant. 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. You use the promo code GRANT, as I said, for free activation. I promise you, you will not regret it. 972-PATRIOT. Make that call today and tell them Grant Stinchfield sent you. All right. Let me play you a clip of Charles Barkley talking about this.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Well, honestly, I think they're dangerous. I mean, watch this foul. Another literally just thrown to the ground. You got the one that was making all the news. Those are hard fouls.
I mean, that's clear all which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
I mean, if that was on the street outside of a bar, you'd probably be arrested. But it's not. So it's in front of a crowd, so, you know, they're not getting arrested. But if it was in front of a bar, Kennedy Carter, Chennedy, would be arrested. She looks very mean, by the way. She looks like she's got crazy eyes, and she looks very, very mean. Now, why is it that people are enthralled with Caitlin Clark? I told you one reason is because she's white. Here's what the media loves. The media loves anomalies, okay? So if you're in TV news and you're black, you're going to have a better chance than a white guy of making it because you're an anomaly. I hate to break the news to conservatives out there. If you're a conservative talker and you're black, you're going to have an easier path forward because you're an anomaly. There's not a lot of black talkers out there to make it big in the conservative world. It's just reality. How do I know it? I was told this by my general manager in Hartford when I was working for NBC. He said, Grant, if you were black, you'd be the White House correspondent for NBC News, but you're not. So sign your contract on the dotted line. You're staying in Hartford. This is reality. Caitlin Clark is an anomaly. She's a white girl in a pool of black, amazing athletes that's not from Eastern Europe. If you're from Eastern Europe, I don't know about women, but at least men in the WNBA, they're great. I don't know what it is about Eastern Europe that's raising unbelievable basketball players, but they are. So Caitlin Clark's a star. I mean, it is what it is. And so they ought to embrace it, and Caitlin Clark ought to embrace it. And I'll tell you what, she's pretty darn good. You add the two things together, an anomaly and pretty darn good, and you're going to have a marketing recipe for success. So this is a woman by the name of Elle Duncan. I don't know who she is, but apparently she's making the rounds on the social media as if what she has to say is very important. Let's listen.
If you are new and you don't have the capacity yet to talk about storylines within the W because you just don't know enough, that's okay. But what you shouldn't do is, because you just want to lend your voice to the conversation in general, keep rehashing the same tired, boring, dumbass, fabricated storyline that all of these women are bitter and can't stand Caitlin Clark. I'm frustrated because the only time that we hear the newbies or the outsiders refer to any storylines inside the W, it is essentially putting mostly black and brown women in a place where the miscreants then get to slide into their DMs undeservingly and attack them.
Well, here's the thing. So she's talking to me. I guess I'm a newbie to the W. I don't think anybody calls it the W unless you've been around it forever and it's your little inside joke. But the WNBA, I'm a newbie and I'm just calling it like I see it. I don't think they do this to other people in the league. They do it to Caitlin Clark. Why? I believe many of these players are racist. They don't like her success. They're jealous of her success, but they're attacking her and cutting off their own noses at the same time because they're benefiting from her success and will benefit from her success. The bottom line is it is happening. The jealousy and racism inside the WNBA is very real. The anti-white sentiment inside the WNBA is very real. The idea that they're all lesbians and butch players that are willing to do great harm to Caitlin Clark is real. So what do you want me to say? I didn't bring this on them. They brought this on themselves.
With that, I think Caitlin Clark is being appropriately covered. She is. She's a star. Like, we don't make these decisions in a vacuum, guys. You know, you can get mad at me all you want because we're rehashing Cowboys talk. We literally have metrics that show that when we talk about the Cowboys, you watch. And when we talk about something else, you turn. And that's how these things are guided. So people watch Caitlin Clark. They love Caitlin Clark. It's true. I think she is getting the appropriate amount of coverage and it's deserved. But I am so annoyed and over this idea that the players on that court need to not respect Caitlin, because I think that they do, and she's earning their respect, as every rookie does, but they need to worship her. And this is...
Nobody's saying they need to worship her. They just don't need to beat her up. They don't need to say horrible things about her. They don't need to literally attack her on the court with violent fouls. I don't know. Again, this woman's out of line. Now, Caitlin Clark at times is fun to watch. When she drains three-pointers from the spots on the floor that she drains, I'm telling you, I'm impressed. I am. Which is why I can watch 5 minutes of that basketball game. And if it doesn't happen within that 5 minutes, then I'm turning. And that's the reality. All right, so I told you I would play this clip of AI doing this, but before I do that, folks, the Wellness Company is where I want you to go, twc.health/Grant. I've got ammunition and food and water. Now I have prescription medications in case of an emergency, including ivermectin. Ivermectin is in the kit that I want you to get to keep your family safe during times of chaos, emergency, natural disaster, whatever it might be. You'll have this speed of delivery on hand if you need these antibiotics, antivirals. No other company, as I said, is doing this with prescription medications. The Wellness Company is. twc.health/Grant. Use the promo code GRANT for 10% off. I respect the doctors. They're all critical thinkers over there. You know, I do my weekly podcast with them tomorrow. Check that out. The Wellness Company, twc.health/Grant. You need one of these emergency medical kits. Don't go without it. You're going to thank me when there comes a time where you really, really need it. twc.health/Grant. Use promo code GRANT for 10% off. All right. I told you I would play this AI. Now, again, this is a warning. This is Caitlin Clark. It is artificial intelligence generated. This is the press conference she needs to give that would literally break the internet.
I'm the richest woman in the WNBA. I've got endorsements with Nike and Gatorade. Most of these other ladies work second jobs at Foot Locker. Just take Melissa sitting next to me. She makes less than a high school teacher in Ohio. No hardworking American wants to spend their hard-earned cash. To see a bunch of clumsy bricklaying females, they are more preoccupied with dating each other than performing on the court. I made more money in college than these women see in their whole careers.
So there you go. I mean, again, that's artificial intelligence. That's not really her. But if she gave that press conference, she would break the internet. And here's the crazy thing. Yes, it's funny. Yes, it's artificial intelligence. Yes, I guess it's meant to be a joke. The reality is it's all true. These are butch lesbians who are preoccupied with dating each other. And oftentimes they are bricklaying. These players do make less than sometimes a high school teacher in Ohio. I'm sorry to the high school teacher in Ohio, but it's the reality. These are supposed to be professional athletes making all kinds of money, but they don't make the money because the eyeballs are not there to support it. Until, of course, Caitlin Clark comes around. So I thought I'd end it on that one because I think that is the funniest of all when it comes to that. But that's what you get here. And I just wish we didn't have the racism that we're seeing inside the WNBA, and it's on display. And I think it's a real sign of where we are in society today and where the real racism comes from. I think the real racism today are liberals who hate white conservatives. And I don't even know where Caitlin Clark's politics stands. Heck, she may not even be a conservative. Who knows? I'd love to know. Can you imagine if she came out and said she's voting for President Trump? Maybe I'll do a little post about that and then see the hate that comes. Do an AI post on that. Who knows? Maybe she is a conservative, though. I hope she is. I really do. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Please don't forget, the website is GrantStinchfield.com, GrantStinchfield.com, Stinchfield1776 on all the social media platforms, including TikTok. President Trump's on TikTok now. He's got like 3 or 4 million followers already on TikTok in just a day, and Joe Biden's still stuck at around 350,000. President Trump, after his so-called conviction, that bogus trial in New York, raised over $200 million, including big money donations, $70 million and counting with little dollar donations, $20, $30, $40 a piece. $70 million in just 24 hours. It's crazy, folks. It really is. And it goes to show you who believes in what out there. All right, Stinchfield's Army rolls. Thanks to you. We will see you on the Real America's Voice show tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.